All right, everybody, you know what time it is. The Real Talk Sports Show is coming up right now. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, the Minister Jonathan Simmons, and we are very thankful to those of you who've decided to join us here on another Tuesday evening as we get ready to talk some sports in the Tuesday evening. We're here broadcasting from just outside of Atlanta, Georgia. It is a beautiful day in the neighborhood as we make our way. You guys can probably hear that I'm in my car because for those who don't know, I have a Clark Kent job. This is what I call my Superman job. My Clark Kent job is I'm a commercial account manager for Allen Vigil Ford. And the one thing about being in the car business, it is a very fluid business where you never know where a client might decide on the spot to purchase their new vehicle. And that's exactly what's happened. I had a client come in just a few hours ago and decide they want to get their brand new vehicle from me right now. So I'm making my way to the studio even as we speak. And again, very thankful to those of you who have already joined us here on the broadcast. We'll be talking lots of sports as we always do. This weekend was chock full of stuff. NBA playoffs in full throttle. Still some question about what the Hawks may do in the offseason. Falcons have made some great acquisitions in terms of, their draft picks and also had a bunch of free agent signings. We'll talk about that. We'll also get a Braves update from our man, Mr. Brian Jones, as he's going to talk to us a little bit about what's happening to the Braves. They have started out of the box very slowly, very similar to what we saw last year. So I'm telling Braves fans, don't panic, please. And then we're going to talk a little bit about this NIL situation. I'd like to see what you guys think and what my co-hosts think about what's happening with NIL as the conference presidents are now lining up, now coming to the government, seeking help to try to see if this can be regulated. And it's ironic that this is coming from the same guys that basically wanted to blow up the only regulatory agency involved in college, which is the NCAA. So it's going to be interesting going forward. I'd like to hear you guys' comments on this as we talk about this tonight. We're going to get set to bring our co-host on in just a moment. We're going to take a quick little commercial break, and then we'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show as we get ready to dash into the studio and get this show on the road. But I got hang tight right here. Again, go over the topics one more time. We're going to talk a little bit about the Hawks, rumors about them possibly trading to get Sun Center DeAndre Ayton. I think I'm pronouncing his first name right. Also looking to our man, Brian Jones, to give you an update on the Braves, what their situation is. Should we be panicking or should we just hang tight, knowing what they did last year? Also, we're going to be talking a little bit about what is happening with the NIL, this whole business with college. Are we going to finally see the point where it's so open that college football turns into semi-pro football? And we'll be talking NBA playoffs. And then there were four: Celtics, Heat, and the Warriors and the Mavericks. And last but not least, talking football, looking at what's going around a little bit on the NFL, but primarily looking at what's happening here with our Atlanta Falcons. The rookie camp has just gone on. We also looking at the Falcons signing of multiple free agents and trying to get a bead on what this Falcon team may look like as we go into the 2022 season. We're going to actually keep it locked right here. We're going to go ahead and play a little commercials for you really quickly. And then we're going to get our co-host on and start talking sports. Again, you tuned into the Real Talk Sports Show. Please keep it locked right here. Don't go nowhere. We'll be back in just a moment. Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our number one priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net. The day has arrived. It's time to let more people know about your business. You have the right marketing plan and the messaging in place. But do you have the right messenger? Good advertising and promotions need a professional sound so the message can be clearly understood. Don't leave your brand image to chance. Let our team of voiceover experts at CME lend you a hand. Give us a call at 678-304-8121 to find out how we can partner with you to give your business its voice. Did you know that Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, Georgia also has Lincoln? Over 35 years of using the Vigil Touch to provide excellent customer service. Did you know that Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, Georgia also has Lincoln? Over 35 years of using the Vigil Touch to provide excellent customer service, works hand in hand with the Lincoln Motor Company to provide a luxurious and seamless way to acquire your next luxury vehicle. Lincoln has an array of full-service complimentary owner benefits. These benefits include hospitality partnerships, service pickup and delivery, all which can be accessed through the Lincoln Way app. You can even contact the 24/7 concierge to have someone assist you. Come and see our great inventory of new and pre-owned Lincolns today. Call 678-364-7345 to make an appointment with one of our brand champions or shop 24/7 online at allenvigillincoln.net. All right, guys, again, we're back here with the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, Mr. Jonathan Simmons. We will be on with full video in just a moment. As I mentioned, for those of you who were not with us earlier, I have a wonderful job with Allen Vigil Ford. You just heard a couple of commercials, and we had a customer deciding to pick up their vehicle today. So we are just now arriving at the studio, and we hopefully will have all of our guests online and video where you can see us in just a moment. So again, we appreciate you. Like I said, again, we'll be talking sports as we always do, NBA playoffs, talking a little bit about the Hawks, talking a little bit about this NIL thing that's going on with college. Crazy. Well, as the season starts, so we'll talk about them. And then, of course, the second half is football, more football. As we zoom in and look at the Falcons, what they're doing with their rookies and also with some of these signings they have made to bring in personnel that suits the system that Arthur Smith is trying to set up here in Atlanta. And it looks like he wants, I think they keep talking about the people looking good when they come off the bus. So, all right, hang tight right there. We'll hook on here. We'll hopefully have our full complement of folks on in just a second. Again, we're going to take a little tiny break, about 30 seconds, because I'm now in the studio and we're about to be on in just a moment. So don't go nowhere. Hang tight as we log in, and we hope to have our guest on in just a moment here on the Real Talk Sports Show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be talking sports soon. Hold on.
This is OJ Howard with Real Talk Sports.
What's up, guys? This is Tim Tebow. You're listening to Real Talk Sports.
This is Charles Woodson. Let me grab the mic. You ready? This is Charles Woodson with Real Talk Sports. Hey, it's your boy JB Smooth with Real Talk Sports.
All right, guys, we are finally in the studio. Praise the Lord. We're trying to get rid of this echo here as we log off and get out of here. And we will do that in just a moment. Again, we thank you for those of you who have been with us, stayed with us as we got here into the studio and trying to make things happen here. And like I said, we'll get rid of this echo in just a moment. Bingo. Ta-da. Praise the Lord. We finally made it into the studios. Thank you guys so much for hanging tight with us here. Again, you're watching the Real Talk Sports Show. Hopefully everybody can hear me. I'm about to plug in my microphone and get everything set and rocking and rolling. We have, I believe, the Queen is in the building. Let's double check here. And ta-da. Oh, let's try it one more time. Ta-da.
Ta-da! Hi, Jonathan. Hi, everybody.
What a rocky road here. I should be pleased because, again, I'm in the business of automobile sales, and we had a customer come in at the last moment and decide they wanted to take home their gently used 2020 Lincoln Aviator, a fine vehicle that is, and they wanted to take that home right away. And we had to do it because, Treat, guess what? This was a wonderful thing. It was one of the assistant athletic directors for Clayton County Public Schools, who, as you know, we do the live broadcast during football. So they said, we like you, and we're going to come get our vehicle from you. So,
aw, that was nice of them. Way to support.
Yeah, pretty darn nice. Absolutely right. Well, another guy that is, you guys know him, and he's a very, very busy man. But today he is going to join us here to talk a little about the Braves, and who knows what else he may talk about. This guy is involved in sports. He's involved in pop culture, and he's going to introduce himself as we welcome back Brian Jones in the building.
What's going on, guys? Great to be back.
What's up, Brian? What's up, buddy? How you been?
Been good. How you been?
Hey, man. Very, very excited. As you can see, the lovely Tree is in the building as well.
Hey.
Brian, how are you?
Doing good. How you doing?
Doing all right. Thank you for asking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, bro. Good to have you back. So we're going to get right to it.
Yeah.
Appreciate your patience as we got everything situated here. There's mad dash into the studio. But and look, I'm not even really out of breath, which is amazing because all I think of run up the stairs and be like, but praise the Lord. Brian, Braves fans, should they be panicking? Braves off to kind of a slow start. What have you seen so far with the Bravos?
Well, I think it really just comes down to the offense not being to hit when runners in scoring position. They're hitting home runs. They're ranked among the top 5 teams in the MLB when it comes to home runs. But when it comes to on-base percentage, when it comes to the batting average, it's just not there. And you look at guys like Adam Duvall, who only has 2 home runs. Dansby Swanson, who got to a slow start, but he's coming along. You're not getting that production from Marcell Ozuna. Austin Riley's out to a slow start. Matt Olson has kind of cooled off after starting off kind of fast. So when it comes to your big bats, you're not getting that type of production. But should Braves fans be worried? Not right now because it's so early. But you don't want to bury yourself out of the NL East race by June or July because it's not going to be like last year where the Mets are going to not be able to take control of the NL East, and the Braves are going to be able to hang around. The Mets are a lot better this year than what they were last year, and the same goes with the rest of the NL East when it comes to the Phillies and Marlins. Those teams will compete for that NL East crown. So ultimately, you just hope that, and the Braves, they have this stretch where they just the bats are just very cold. They don't get anything going, but they're able to pick things up. So you hopefully sooner than later, the bats are able to come around. Pitching's been fine. Bullpen has been great. Kenley Jansen has been outstanding so far. You just need the offense to get going. And now that Ronald Acuna is back in the lineup, you hope the offense comes around much sooner than later.
Yeah, no doubt. We were everybody was kind of excited about Matt Olson, seeing what he was doing. Everybody was okay, Freddie who, but it does appear that Olson has cooled off. But more importantly, this is a guy that we kind of booked to be like Freddie, a gold glove first baseman, and he has I think 3 errors over the last 5 games. I mean, do you think these guys are just pressing too much?
It could be. I think they realize every time they go out there, these opposing teams are going to give them everything they have because they're the defending World Series champions. And I think they are kind of pressing. Matt Olson, who has won a Gold Glove, he has struggled. Austin Riley has had his share of errors. Dansby Swanson, who was at one point in the season the best defensive player in all of baseball, he struggled a little bit. So it's not just Matt Olson; it's really the entire team when it comes to defense. And it just seems like when it comes to the Braves so far this year, it just seems like it's always one thing that keeps them from getting that winning streak going, whether it's the bats, whether it's defense, whether it's pitching. It's just a matter of putting everything together. But again, it's such a long season that I think they have that ability, because you look at what they've done the last 4 years. They won the NL East. They reached the NLCS 2 years ago, won the World Series last year. So again, I'm not necessarily worried about the Braves, but they've realized that they had to pick things up sooner than later, because they don't want to be in a position where they're 10 games out of first place by a little bit after the All-Star break, and they're going to have to play catch up the rest of the way. They were able to get away with that last year. That's not going to be the case this year.
Yeah, I think they just kind of put themselves in a little bind. Now, Brian, we always have our good buddy Todd. And I don't know if you remember Todd, but Todd is our master shade thrower. He is throwing some shade. He believes there's some locker room issues. Now, he's saying that one of the players is involved in some type of domestic violence issue. I'm not sure who he's referring to. He said bad karma, locker room issues. And he said, Brian, it's all about the locker room. Have you heard anything in terms of any type of locker room disruption from this team, or maybe not the same vibe that we had in maybe last year?
It's interesting that he brings that up, because I don't know. I think when it comes to Marcell Ozuna, he had his legal issues, but everything was squared away. And he was a guy in the COVID shortened season that led the National League in home runs. So he provides that bat that you need. You just haven't seen it. But when it comes to the locker room, I think, and this has been mentioned, the loss of Jock Peterson is something that has been interesting, because he brought a certain edge to that team that they haven't had in the past. Even when you're going back to the 95 Braves when they won the World Series or the 90s Braves throughout their run. Jock is a guy who at one point was leading the major league in home runs, but he's a guy that whenever there's a big moment, nothing phases him. He can just go out there and perform and come up with that clutch play. Now he's with the Giants, and he's doing some great things there. And then, he's a back-to-back World Series champion because he was with the Dodgers before he signed with the Braves. Not having Jock, I think that does kind of affect this team in terms of the locker room. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out, because not having Jock, not having Freddie Freeman, who's a locker room leader, I don't know if the Braves necessarily have that now, because they're still a young team. And when you're talking about longest tenure Braves, you have to pretty much go to Dansby Swanson. And he's a guy who could be gone next year, based on if he doesn't have a consistent bat. Now, obviously, he's a fan favorite, but I don't necessarily see him as a locker room leader. So, that's going to be interesting to see how everything plays out. Who's going to be the guy that steps up, leads this team going into the All-Star break, into the second half of the season, and hopefully turn things around.
Trey, I know you watched, kind of peeked at them from afar. What have you think about watching the Braves? Have you caught any games? And one of the things I heard someone say, Trey, they say the Braves don't seem to have, what Brian said, the same excitement. Do you see the same energy that you saw last year? Or what are your thoughts?
I have to be honest. I have not seen any Brave games this year. I've only seen highlights because I am not missing any playoff games. And then also working towards May because it's Brain Cancer Awareness Month. So I have so many things going on. So I have not, but I have looked at the highlights. And so I can't say from the highlights because, they only show the different clips. But I definitely trust Brian. I know that he knows. And if they're not looking with the same excitement that they had last year, to me, that would be something to be concerned about, because we all know that attitude is everything. But as far as if they're not playing as well right now, I'm not concerned in that sense, just because they still have so much more baseball to play.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell Braves fans. Calm down, y'all. Please, please. I mean, remember, this is a team that, last year did something similar. So everybody, please pump the brakes for a second. Pump the brakes. All right, speaking of pump the brakes, I know you guys said, "Do how many commercials you're going to show?" We're going to take a commercial break really quickly. Our sponsors, they're very excited about all this, and then we're going to shift and talk a little basketball. All right, guys, you're listening and watching the Real Talk Sports Shows. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere, please. Thank you very much. Hold tight.
Did you know that Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, Georgia also has Lincoln? Over 35 years of using the Vigil Touch to provide excellent customer service, works hand in hand with the Lincoln Motor Company to provide a luxurious and seamless way to acquire your next luxury vehicle. Lincoln has an array of full-service complimentary owner benefits. These benefits include hospitality partnerships, service pickup and delivery, all which can be accessed through the Lincoln Way app. You can even contact the 24/7 concierge to have someone assist you. Come and see our great inventory of new and pre-owned Lincolns today. Call 678-364-7345 to make an appointment with one of our brand champions or shop 24/7 online at allenvigillincoln.net.
Yes, and I can be your brand champion, me. So if you need a Lincoln, please call me up. Be more than happy to take care of you in anything that you would need for yourself or your family. You can hit me up directly on the cell, 678-410-9833. Tree, I'm going to shift to you one more time for a second here. Question for you. The Dream looks like they're trying to make the dream work. They've come out of the box fairly hot. I know you've been very, very busy. Have you got a chance to see any highlights from the Atlanta Dream?
I have seen some highlights, and oh my goodness. So far I'm loving what I'm seeing with them. I have not seen the games yet, but I did record the games so that I can make sure that I don't miss any of the plays. And so I will catch up with their games later and watch them. But I've seen definitely highlights, and I'm loving what I'm seeing so far. And I knew that when the Dream were going through the draft and just letting us know what they expect from the Dream this season and what they're looking for from their players. I really think that it's going to be night and day from last year and this season. And I really think that we're going to see some great things from the Dream this year.
Yeah, no doubt. Brian, have you had a chance to peek at the ladies as they start off this season? And even overall, the WNBA, it seems like they've turned up the marketing arm a little bit, especially on social media.
Yeah, I haven't got a chance to watch the Dream, but I do want to check a game out. I know that I heard them when they traded up to get the number 1 overall pick and they drafted Ryan Howard, I knew things were going to change. I know they've had some years where they struggled. They're a team that has been to the WNBA Finals 3 times and come up short in all 3 of those appearances. And so far, they seem like to be off to a good start. I think they're 3-1 now. They're beating the Indiana Fever currently, so. It looks like they're poised to make a run. And you're right. The WNBA has started to market themselves really well. I actually got a chance to interview Candace Parker, who's with the Chicago Sky and led the Sky to a WNBA championship last season. And it was great talking to her because even though she's happy with 2 championships, she's a competitor and she wanted more. She felt like there were some years where they could have won the title when she was in Los Angeles and I just came up short. But so I think the WNBA has grown a lot over its 25 years, and I think it's only going to get stronger in the years to come.
Well, no doubt, man. I'm just kind of liking the vibe, Tree.
And I was just saying, yes, and I hear that they're looking to expand and get some more teams added to the WNBA. So I think that would be phenomenal. And just in case anybody's wondering, hello, let's go ahead and bring back the Detroit Shock, even though they took Detroit Shock to Tulsa Shock. And I'm still heartbroken about that, if you can't tell. The Detroit Shock was the absolute best team in the WNBA. We had the most championships of all teams. So everybody talk about my Detroit teams, but they never want to talk about the Detroit Shock, who was the best team in the league. So if we do get more teams added to the WNBA, I do hope that they bring back my Detroit Shock.
Yeah, if I can remember correctly, that team was led by one of your bad boys, Bill Lambier, and I think featured one of their star players, the daughter of Karl Malone, won the championship. So, no doubt that was a dynamite team. Well, speaking of champions, anytime we bring this show on, we have to bring on our own champion. He won not 1, but 2 Super Bowl trophies with the New England Patriots. He also is in the Fort Valley State Sports Hall of Fame. He is a motivational speaker and an all-around good guy. The one and only Tyrone Poole is in the building. Brother Poole, what's going on, sir?
Hello, everybody. How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? You also left out, Jonathan, that I am the director of athletics development at Fort Valley State. So that's where you got to start adding that in there. I am the director of athletics at Fort Valley State. So watch out for the Valley, baby. I'm telling you, we're gonna bring VR and XR. It's coming to Fort Valley. If you don't know what that means virtual reality for the
That's
athletes.
right.
Watch how that game gonna change in Fort Valley. Yes, baby. We bringing it. Yes.
Well, this is what we wanted, boys, right here. This is the real deal, and we're excited that Brother Poole is doing the things he's doing, and we hope to, hopefully, in some way, shape, or form, partner with him to move the needle. I mean, HBCUs are very important, and I think the talk is cheap. So I think if we really want to try to help these universities out, we're gonna have to kind of put our money and efforts where our mouth is. And Brother Poole, we appreciate you and your university for doing that. And again, big shout out to all HBCUs who really do a lot with a little. I mean, I don't know if you guys really realize, people are watching, but the HBCUs have a very small budget. Let's zoom back in. Tyrone's trying to show us something here. Let's go. Point to that again, Tyrone. Go ahead. There it is. Fort Valley State.
Wildcats, HBCU.
Now see, that's something I had no idea that was their nickname. I didn't know what they were. I know what the Wildcats, the Dragons, the Happy Feet. I didn't know what they were. So we got it. We got it now. The Tigers in the building. All right. WNBA is doing great. Like I said, I love the marketing. I love the campaign. I love that the whole, we're showing the guys from the NBA doing the walk-in. Now the WNBA, they're really kind of highlighting the different wardrobe and fashion. And I'm not a girl, but I kind of like the fashion, the style the young ladies are coming into the gym with. And so definitely good stuff. And, definitely here in Atlanta, an improvement in the in-game experience as well. So, yeah, man, big shout out to the ladies. Appreciate y'all. Big ups, big ups. So we
They
look
said
forward
this
to
about
that.
the NBA. I'll listen to you guys, and everybody want to know what the Atlanta Falcons #1 draft pick is going to do. How is he coming through with practice? Well, hey, let's talk about the Atlanta Dreams #1 draft pick, Ryan Howard, right? Howard.
Yeah.
Name,
Mhm.
right? 19 points, man. 19 points. She's scoring all leaders. So that's what you do, #1 draft pick. You come in, you put down points. Right now, she got 19 points, playing 25 minutes. She got the most points of everybody, and she got the most minutes of everybody. So that's what a #1 draft pick is supposed to do for you.
That's right. And I'm hoping that she will be Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Which would be
She's
great. I
number
mean,
10, for everybody don't know. Now she wears number 10.
I think it's good stuff out of the young lady, man. And we'd love to see it. I mean, you would have two young rising stars here in Atlanta with Trae Young, playing for the Hawks, obviously, and the lovely Miss Howard playing for the Dream. It would be great if both these teams could be perennial contenders and maybe bring one or two titles here back to Atlanta. So, yeah, man, we're looking for some big stuff out of the ladies and big stuff, right here at home with the Hawks. Okay, speaking of Hawks, there's some rumbling going around that the Hawks are going to make a move to try to bring in allegedly disgruntled center for the Suns. I want to make sure I got his name right. I think it's DeAndre Ayton. I think that's right. Let me see here. That's right. Just want to make sure. Yeah. So there's some rumblings, man, that he's not happy. He's not happy at all. Matter of fact, it is allegedly been some heated exchanges being overheard between Ayton and his head coach, and there was big questions to why Ayton didn't see more time. I mean, Tree, I know you're a player that played in the paint. I mean, what do you think about the fact that the Suns hardly used him at all?
Yeah, I thought it was quite peculiar that he did not play as much as I would have expected him to play, especially because of how he produces. So if he's not happy there, and that would make sense as to why he did not play that many minutes, is because he's getting into it with the coach. And so the coach was benching him. You definitely couldn't tell from his end because he was professional and just went out there and played and did his thing when he was on the court. But if Atlanta is searching to get him, and if they do, I don't want to say luck up, but if they do accomplish that goal of bringing him to Atlanta, I think that would just be a game changer for the Hawks. I mean, he's a great player, and he definitely makes his presence known. And I think that you, of all people, would be really happy because you've been talking for the longest about bringing somebody in the post and getting a larger big guy or a true big guy in here. So I think it would be a great move for Atlanta Hawks if it did come true.
Tyrone, what do you think about the idea of bringing in the big man from out of Phoenix, a guy that was basically a lottery pick?
Yeah, well, basically, we talked about this before. What could the Hawks do to get better? And I do believe I brought up the fact that they are not scoring points in the paint. So I'm pretty sure Coach Nate McMillan realized that. The ownership realized that. And that's why they are making the move. So you get a big guy down in the paint. Now you get an opportunity to not only shoot from the outside where you got Trae Young, but also you could dish it down to the inside play. So it kind of reminds me a little bit, they're not exactly the Shaq and the Kobe, God rest his spirit, but you have somebody who can shoot the long ball, and then you got somebody who can possibly dominate down in the paint. And then everybody else, the other three people, are just set-up people. So if they can get that little combination going, we see that it will win, and it dominates if you got two players who can play that role. As a Shaq and a Kobe, you got a Trae Young, you got a big guy down in the paint. Hey, it could work. It could work.
Brian, your thoughts about bringing in the big man from out of Phoenix into the Hawks?
Yeah, I think they're going to be in the running. I think there are other teams that are going to that are very interested in DeAndre Ayton because of what he can bring to the table. I wouldn't be surprised, no matter if the Hawks bring in DeAndre Ayton or not, that Capella is gone. Onyeka Okongwu will still be there. He had a solid 2021-22 season, but they need someone, and as Tyrone mentioned, someone that can score in the paint. Hawks didn't have a problem scoring, but when it comes to the paint, they just didn't have that guy. And you saw that with the Miami Heat, and that's why they lost in the first round in 5 games. So something has to change in order for the Hawks to take that next step. They dealt with a number of issues this past season, including that December where they were hit with the COVID bug, and that really slowed them down and that set them back, and they had to really fight their way to get to the postseason. But at the same time, they need more in order to be a true NBA Finals contender. And I think DeAndre Ayton could be one of those steps to where they can be that contender. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Hawks do make a play for DeAndre Ayton because they're gonna need some help. Trae Young is a bona fide superstar, but you need guys, you need key players, all-stars to be around him and be able to help him out because he can't do everything. And you saw that in the playoff series against the Heat.
Yeah, so let's take a quick look at Ayton's stats here as he has played in the NBA. This is 4th season just passed. Guy is 16.3 a game, 18.2 a game his sophomore season. Dipped a little bit last year to 14.4 a game, but this year 17.3 a game. And every single year has averaged at least 10 rebounds a game. So this guy certainly could be a key figure. The question is, what would the Hawks have to give up to get him? And the other thing, too, is, how are they going to leverage the money? Because he has gone on record saying, I want a max contract. I want big money.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Do you want to win, Hawks? Do you want to win? So it ain't about the money thing. Do you want to win? If you want to win, the money don't matter. Because if you win, you're going to bring money. The state of the arena going to fill up. You're going to make your money back. Everybody talking about he want money. Give him the money. If you believe that he could produce, bring him in and let's win. Forget about he want this. If he can fill up the arena and he can bring an NBA championship, that's endorsements. Companies coming in now want to be a part of the Hawks family. That's money, people. You make that back up. Plus, also what he does, we've already seen the Hawks play kind of semi-small, semi-big. Now what he does, he gives the Hawks another option as another offense. They can come in and go big, or they can go small, medium. And so bring the guy in. Let's win, man. Come on, people.
You talk, Tyrone. Everything you said, I agree, because that's the same thing I'm thinking. Pay him the max amount. He needs the max amount. He has proven that he deserves the max amount. And just like what Tyrone said, you pay him, it's going to hopefully equate to a championship, and it brings in more dollars. So everything Tyrone said, I agree. Drop the mic.
Come on, Tree. Pound it, Tree. There we go. We're going to pound it. Pound it on. There we go. Hey.
Well, like you said, you already know you're preaching to the choir. I mean, that's what my thing. I
Yeah.
think that there's been a shift in the NBA away from small ball to having, at least one or sometimes two big men that can really impact you in this game, especially when you get to playoffs where the game slows down. Yes, you have more half-court offense. You need a guy that can be a rim protector, which, no, don't get me wrong, Clint Capella is very good, great rim protector, but unfortunately, sometimes he had the hands. There was a guy that used to be a great boxer back in the day called Roberto Duran, and his nickname was Mano de Piedros, hands of stone. And unfortunately, a lot of time with Clint down the paint, when Trey be hitting them passes, unless it's an alley-oop, he's got the hands of stone. So we need a guy that can make these plays in the paint.
Well, how to protect the big people. Because sometimes, sometimes it's the guard and the people passing us the ball, or and it makes you want to talk about the big man, like your hands are slippery. I mean, give the guy a little bit of a break. Sometimes, the person looks like they're going up and shooting, so you're preparing a box out to, get a rebound, and then they toss you the ball. So you have to give him some kind of grace, some kind of leeway, because sometimes it is on the person passing the big people the ball. I just want to put that out there. You can put on your shades, but it's true.
Yeah. Spoken like a woman who played the 4 and 5 when she was a ball. Yeah, she's not having it. Well, I mean, listen, I'm not trying to throw shade on Cleveland. I got the shades on, but especially last year, there were several times in the paint. Brian, you saw it. Clint just couldn't seem to make the play unless it was an alley-oop. So you need a guy that you can feed. I'm not going to compare him to Shaq, but a Shaq-like player that when he got that ball in the paint, buddy boy, you were getting fouled or he was getting 2 points. And that's what I need out of a big man. I need a guy that when Trey gives him that no look, that he can convert or get to the foul line. And then not get to the foul line, but make the shots. That was the other thing, too, that Clint shot about 50% from the line. So, but I love him. Don't be wrong. I'm not mad. He took them, helped take them much farther than they ever thought they could. He led the league in rebounds. So I don't want to just hit him with some total shade, but either he has to get something that they banned in the NFL back in the day. Tyrone, what was that stuff they used to use back in the day? Stick 'em.
I don't know what it was, man.
Tyrone sounds before
I know what
me.
you're talking about. No, I ain't gonna lie. I'll tell you the truth. I'm gonna tell you the truth. All right. I went back in the day when they had the Lester Hayes and they had all that stick 'em and had it all. But you know what I used to do? I used to get that the sticky spray, like before they put the pre-wrap on, right? They take the sticky substance and they spray. So it'll make the tape and the pre-wrap stick to the skin. All right. So what I used to do, every play, every other play or whatever, I just go over, I grab the sticky. Yeah, baby. But then Nike and Under Armour, they came out with the tacky gloves. They're so tacky. But before then, it was the spray it. So yeah.
Once again, Tyrone Poole dropping some inside information. He said he used a little.
Hey, you can't stay around 12 years without knowing something of the trade now. Come on now.
Hey, listen, I'm not mad at you, bro. I mean, that's real talk. Let's go to social media for a second here. Our man Todd says, he said, Tyrone, LOL, that's cheating, man.
No, it's not. It's the same thing. Check this out. Baseball. They do this, they say.
Yeah.
What he doing? He get his hands sweaty, right? So he get more rotation on that ball. So that cheating, Todd,
Listen,
or they take advantage of the game?
It's
I
called.
don't know. You tell me.
Basically, guys, what Tyrone is saying, he was taking advantage of the competitive edge that was available to him at that time.
That's what the pitchers do. They do that.
Right.
It's funny because I see the pitchers doing that, but I never even thought that that's what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
They will spin on that ball.
Well, look, man, back in my day, I mean, we had all kinds of stuff. Matter of fact, I think, Brian, you've seen the famous Major League Baseball highlight film from back in the day where I think it was one of the Negro brothers. They went out to the mound and he put his hands up like this. All of a sudden, like literally a little small nail file flew out of his thing. And he was like, I don't know how that got there.
Wait, what flew out of his thing?
Yeah, he had a nail file. One thing
Yeah.
they used to shake because you want to try to do things to make the ball move, and one of the things you do is
Right.
you would shave the baseball on one side, and so when you threw it, the ball would kind of yeah,
Yeah.
Vaseline on the cap. The guy would throw his cap
Hmm.
off. They check him. You have Vaseline in there. Yeah, if you take a little glob of Vaseline, you're throwing a ball 80 miles an hour with that little glob. You think it does it? Man, that ball would do some funky stuff. So,
Hey,
That's crazy.
speaking of something funny, you guys remember the movie Major League?
Oh
yes,
yeah.
sir.
Yeah, with the guy, the veteran pitcher. He took his shirt off. He said he had some Vaseline right there.
Yeah.
He had something else right there. And he pulled his head off. He had
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
wow.
again, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end this segment by saying all players in all different eras take advantage of the competitive edge. So
Mhm.
that's how we do it.
I,
Hi, guys.
I
Go ahead.
don't.
See, Tree gonna keep it real. She's I ain't used no competitive edge.
I didn't. I'm just keeping it real.
Yeah.
I mean, thankfully in volleyball, I don't think there's anything that we can do anyway. But no, I never did.
Tree, so you weren't involved in any mischief. I'm not you four and you fives. Y'all get a little handsy down the paint, like in the foul line, like somebody accidentally like pulls down somebody's shorts when they trying to jump. You know, y'all you didn't get
No,
involved in that?
and see that's the thing. I honestly I can say I don't do anything to try to cheat. Now I've had that done to me, which is why I would get so upset a lot because other players would always pull on my jersey. I don't grab jerseys. I don't like that. I can't stand when people grab my jersey or try to hold me, and then they would elbow me in my stomach, and that's a sore spot for females. And so if you hit a female in her stomach the wrong way, you just literally go to the floor and you have no energy. You can't get up for a while. So yeah, no, I never did anything like that.
Okay, we have another good friend of the show and of mine. She's been on the show on several occasions. Ms. Elaine Armster, now a very successful businesswoman in Cobb County, but herself back in the day a baller. And she just said accidentally and gave it a little smiley wink, like, "Okay, I get you, sister." I played down there too, so we we know how that works. Like I said, whatever you can do sometimes to get a competitive edge, you got to make it do what it do. Well, speaking of competitive edge, we got to talk about what on earth those doggone Falcons are doing to make a competitive edge right now. We'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show in just a moment. Don't go nowhere. Doggone it. We'll be back.
Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our number one priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net.
This is OJ Howard with Real Talk Sports.
What's up, guys? This is Tim Tebow. You're listening to Real Talk Sports.
This is Charles Woodson. Let me grab the mic. You ready? This is Charles Woodson with Real Talk Sports. Hey, it's your boy JB Smooth with Real Talk Sports.
All right, guys, we're back here with our final segment of the Real Talk Sports Show. Right next to me there, let me get the other way. There we go. Mr. Tyrone Poole, our world champion. And then, see if I get the fingers right. That's Brian down below me on that side. And then way over here, my finger disappeared. Well, she's over there. The lovely Miss Tree Dolman. So you guys don't know, but when the camera's like facing you, trying to figure out which way your finger's going, it doesn't work. Anyway, so much for that. So, our Falcons. A lot going on in the offseason. One of the beat writers has made a joke of the Falcons' new penchant to bring big receivers in. It says the Falcons look like they are assembling a basketball team of pass catchers. But the question is, will it work? So, Tyron, I'm going to go to you first. This idea, the Falcons have loaded up with big receivers. Good, bad, game plan situation. Kind of what are your thoughts on all these guys that are bringing in 6'3", 6'4", 6'3", and no, I don't see yet guys that are burners per se or can stretch the field. What are your thoughts?
I tell you what, it all don't matter if you can't protect your quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
The quarterback ain't got but 3 seconds to throw the ball, 2 seconds to throw the ball. Well, it don't matter how tall you guys are. All right. So what's going to end up happening? You're going to have a lot of Al Toons. You guys remember Al Toon?
Yes, sir.
Your Jets, Al was like what, about 6'5" or something like that. And man, they kept sending Al Toon across that middle, shorting his career very quickly. Now, granted, the game has changed a lot, but still, you can tackle guys, okay? You can hit them with your shoulder pads. So again, having tall receivers, to me, that's not an advantage. It's not really an advantage until you get in a jump ball situation, which usually happens probably when you get down near the goal line. Other than that, I'm like, you just, creating big targets for you guys. And again, it all goes back, kill your offensive line, allow the quarterback time to throw the ball. So if you don't have a running game, that's the other thing. If the Falcons don't develop a running game, the pass catchers really don't matter, because now what defenses are going to do, they know you got to pass. So they're going to sit back and really not respect your run, and they're going to sit back and play the pass. So again, the tall guys don't really matter until you get in a true jump ball situation.
Brian Jones, your thoughts about these big boys now coming to the Falcons, stringing out, like you said, everybody looks like they're 6'3" and above.
Yeah, I think that could be beneficial. But as Tyrone said, if the offensive line doesn't improve this year in terms of pass blocking, it's not going to matter. And when you have a guy like Marcus Mariota at quarterback who hasn't played a full season in his entire career, it's very vital for the Falcons to protect. Now, these wide receivers, at least the veterans, they're solid. They're solid pieces. They add depth. You obviously, this is something that Arthur Smith likes. This is something that he dealt with when he was offensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans. So as long as Marcus Mariota has time to throw, they should be able to produce. But again, it just comes down to the offensive line. And it also comes down to the running game. It looks like Cordell Patterson will be the number one guy. Then you have Damian Williams. They drafted Tyler Algier. Quadrialis is back. So the running game, it has potential to do some big things, but it all comes down to the offensive line. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens during the preseason and the beginning of the season to see if the offensive line has improved, because it's virtually the same offensive line as it was last year. And if they can, and they give Marcus Mariota time, then I think these wide receivers can be very productive in 2022.
Tree, your thoughts? I know you like the idea with basically they have a whole what they call them, the room full of trees. That's all these guys, the big guys.
Yeah, but you already know. I definitely think that yes, it is beneficial. One thing that we always say and that you hear coaches saying in all different types of sports is that you can't teach height, right? So the height really does make a difference, like Tyrone said, when they're jumping and going up for different balls, and also sometimes just with view in the field. So they definitely like taller people. But again, like Tyrone also said, if you can't get the ball to them, then it's not really going to make a difference. So first thing that the Falcons have to do is definitely protect their quarterback so that he can throw to these guys. But I love that they're bringing in tall guys, and I think that it's great.
Let me shed a little more light on this as well, this tall receiver thing. Okay, I'm going to use basketball as an example, but it's going to play right along with football. You guys going to understand, but football is more physical, okay? It's not college, so these guys probably could jump all over college defensive backs, but pro defensive backs are taught to get physical, get their hands on these guys, okay? Now, basketball, the rim is what? 10 feet.
10 feet.
Okay. You got some players that are 7 feet, 6'9", 6'8", 6'7". Why is it that whenever a rebound is gotten, when they grab the ball, it's either at rim level or below rim level? But if you just take a guy and just tell him to go jump, then he's jumping all over the rim, got his head up near the rim. Why don't they do that in the game? I tell you,
because you don't want to be close to goaltending.
No, that's not friction. Friction is hard to jump your highest when you're jumping against somebody. When somebody is putting friction against you, body on body, it's hard to elevate. If you don't believe me, try to go and jump against a wall. Put your shoulder against the wall and try to jump up as high as you can. Can't do it. So a smart defensive back, what he's going to do, he's going to get into that receiver's body. And if he's a really smart defensive back, what he's going to do, he's going to put his arm on top of the receiver's arm. So when that receiver can't jump. So again, this ain't college, guys. This is professional. These guys are taught technique. So the only way, like I said, that height would be efficient if they get in a situation where they just throw the ball up and now the receiver could just jump up. But when you running, you got a defensive back who's running stride for stride with you. He put his arm. That's what we're taught. Get into his body, lean into him. It's the reason why they do that, guys. So again, the height, I don't see it being no matter. And how can I say that again? I played with Randy Moss, Chris Carter, all these guys. They tall. You know how many times
I don't think Chris Carter's tall. He's not tall.
Who?
Chris Carter.
Chris was
taller than Tyrone.
He was 6'3". Chris was 6'3". He's 6'3". Randy Moss was 6'4".
Every bit of that, probably 6'5", really. Yeah, Randy was long.
But I have to realize that my tall is different from other people's tall. So my apologies.
Yeah. No, it's again, football, that's a tall receiver. 6'3".
Yeah,
is a tall receiver.
That makes sense.
Yeah, basketball, 6'2" is not 6'2" is a guard.
Yeah,
you know?
that makes sense.
Football, 6'2" is considered a tall receiver. 6'1" is considered a tall receiver, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do forget Tree's perspective, because this is a woman that hashtag tall girls rock, hashtag 6'2" and bare feet. So I mean that's a little different story, right? So yeah, so what I think you're going to see is it's all about Arthur Smith's offense. I think that there's going to be a lot of pressure on all these guys, especially Kyle Pitts, to improve their blocking, because I think the Falcons are hell bent on running the ball and using these big formations. Tyrone, what do you call them when they run the 3 tight ends? What's the moniker for that? What do they call it? 13 or 12, 11? What do they call it when they have
13? Basically,
13.
Just a 13. Let me say this also too, Jonathan.
Go ahead.
You call it an advantage. They're gonna have the tall receivers, but also I think it's gonna be a disadvantage for the Falcons defensive backs. Okay, because in practice they only gonna be covering these tall, middle of the road speed guys. Then when they get into a game, say they play the Dolphins, they got Tyreek Hill. Okay, so now you got fast receivers. You're used to covering these mid-range height receivers every day. Now, granted, they got Zacchaeus or whatever his name is, but he's only one guy. But the rest of everybody that you cover is big. So, yes, it may be an advantage, but then it's a disadvantage for your defensive backs, because the only time they're going to see real speed is at the game. And that's, my friend, not when you want to make mistakes during the game.
Yeah, and I think the other thing,
balance of receivers, what I'm trying to say.
right. The other guy they're going to use, depending on if he makes the team or not, is a kid they drafted very, very late. The kid from Ferris State. He's got some speed, plays some quarterback as well with them. So I think they're going to do that. And you know how this, Tyrone. You know they sign people to get on these practice squads, man. Do what they got to do to get some speed. So let's go to social media. Our man Todd says, "Hey, Desmond Ritter's already acting like a starting quarterback. He said he likes it, shaking leadership." And Marcus has not reached out to him. I say we ain't winning 4 games, but one more than Detroit Lions.
Oh!
Wow.
Oh, Todd.
Hold on.
No,
I gotta get the Las Vegas shades on for that. Dang.
No, you did not talk about my Detroit Lions like that. But let's just remember that you said you're going to purchase from my website once my Lions win more than 4 games, which they will. I think you said 3, but anyway, so just be prepared to purchase.
He's gonna have to purchase a whole lot of stuff. He threw heavy shade. I had to put my Las Vegas casino shades on for that.
That was heavy shade, wasn't it?
And he slipped it in like at the end. He said, "Oh, by the way, it's still gonna be more than Lions." Doggone. Top one more comment here. He said again. He said Brian Ritter is going to win the starting job. You watch. So. All right, as we get towards the end of the program, we still have a little time left. I mean, what do you guys think about this idea about, is this, I mean, am I just looking at stuff wrong? Are they just kind of just making something out of nothing? This whole idea about, okay, Mariota hasn't reached out, and then a situation with Tennessee, with Tannehill saying, I'm not here to train this guy. I mean, Brian, is this kind of like just like the press whipping things up, or is this a real deal?
I think, I actually wrote about the Ryan Tannehill, Malik Willis situation where Ryan Tannehill pretty much said it's not my job to pretty much mentor Malik Willis. And in a way, he's right, because when it comes to the quarterback, it's only one position. He's there. Ryan Tannehill is the starting quarterback, and he's going to do everything he can to keep that role. And I know that Titans fans are not happy with Ryan Tannehill based on what happened in the playoffs last year, where he threw 3 interceptions against the Bengals. But at the same time, he's still been a productive quarterback. And I think Malik Willis understands. He knows that Ryan Tannehill is going to do everything he can to keep his job. And Malik Willis, at the same time, he's going to do everything he can to try to win the job. So when it comes to Marcus Mariota and Desmond Ridder, it's pretty much the same thing, because Ridder knows that he's only one play away from becoming the starting quarterback. And Mariota is going to do everything he can to be the number one guy from week 1 to week 18. And I know it's gonna be interesting to see, because Mariota has been solid, but again, as I mentioned, he has dealt with health issues. He hasn't played a full season throughout his entire career. So Desmond Ridder is going to be ready, and I think I wouldn't be surprised if there is a situation where they're 0-5 or 1-4, that they do make a change at quarterback. Now, is Desmond Ridder the right guy for the Falcons? Can he be that? Can he be what Matt Ryan was for the last decade? Only time will tell. But I do think Desmond Ridder does have a shot to be the Falcons starting quarterback at some point this upcoming season.
Tyrone, your thoughts about Ridder kind of taking the reins as a rookie?
I'm going to go back and respond back to what Brian said. Actually, I think Tannehill was totally wrong, 1,000% wrong. Because at the end of the day, I understand, yes, it's 2 people competing for one position. But here's what I got to bring up, an example. You always, like a person told me, if somebody brings facts, you have to bring facts too. Okay, let's go back. Again, I play with the Patriots. Now, what if Drew Bledsoe had not been tutoring Tom Brady? You can't sit here and tell me that Tom didn't go to Drew and ask him questions, and Drew like, hey, you know what? I'm going to tell you what to do. That's why when he came in, they kept rolling. Yeah, he was, young, but I had to believe that Drew Bledsoe was telling him, hey, Tom, instead of doing this is what you need to do. And yeah, Tom became his own thing. So here's my thing. Anybody who says that, hey, I'm just here to do my job, I'm not to help you, that's a person or a team that will not win a championship or have not won championships in their life. And plus, that's a person that I believe has no confidence in themselves. Because if you don't have no confidence in your ability, you ain't going to help nobody. So that's why I go and I say what Dion said. And I keep saying it. Dion said, because he believes in himself, I can teach you anything that I want to. But still yet, I don't believe you're going to be good enough to beat me. That's somebody who got confidence. Plus, that's somebody who says, if I go down, I want this team to win a championship. But somebody say, well, no, it ain't me, my job to tutor somebody. You know what? That tells me you're just there for the money, all right? You're looking out for yourself. But, again, I'm a team player. Everybody's not team players. I'm a champion. Not everybody's champion. That's just facts, all right? And there are other people who are champion. Tree, I'm pretty sure she'll say the same thing. If she had a young person coming up behind her, she going to sit there and say, hey, how can I help you? How can I help you? No, you're not going to go over and say, hey, come sit with me. Come sit with me. But if that young player comes to you and say, hey, can you teach me how to do that? Hey, I'll teach you everything you need to know because we are a team. That's why football is ultimate team sport. So with that again, Tannehill, straight wrong. Now, whether Ridder and Mariota, really, I don't worry about that right now because let's not forget, Marcus is trying to acclimate himself here now. So he's probably trying to find out where he's going to live and this and that, but I'm pretty sure they've had conversation. Now, when training camp roll around, I'm pretty sure Marcus is going to be helping Ridder as much as he can because he's already said that he will. Right now, Marcus, he's a veteran. He don't need to be there at the camp. So, that's my thing.
Well, this is unbelievable. Breaking news. Todd says he can't believe it. He actually is siding with Tyrone. He said, you have to prepare your backup as a team game. Yeah, look, first of all, as far as the Falcons are concerned, it's much ado about nothing. I mean, because in Ridder's opening comments, he said, hey, the cool thing about it is he said, I think my game is somewhat similar to Marcus. And I'm sure that that's why they have Marcus here, knowing they were going to draft, or at least their hope was, because the game is similar. So there doesn't have to be much of a change of the game plan in terms of what they expect both quarterbacks to do. their skill sets are very similar. Mariota might have maybe a slightly bigger arm than Ritter, a little bit more accuracy, but other than that, they are very similar in their approach to the game. They are mobile quarterbacks who are looking to make a play first with their arm, but can get out of harm's way with their feet if they have to. So I think in the Falcons case, you're not going to see that. I think that, these guys, we talked about this last week, the Falcons, all the guys they're bringing to this team, especially the draft picks, it seems, I'm not trying to say these guys are not good players, but it seems that they are really looking more for family, good guys, team players with chips on their shoulders, almost as much as they're looking for players that have maybe outstanding talent. They're like, look, we believe we can coach these guys up if they have the drive, if they got the heart, and if they're willing to be coached. So I think that basically they're concerned about the locker room first, and then they feel they can deal with the rest of the stuff on the field if these guys are decent.
Man, you got to get some talent on that field. I don't care what kind of locker. We've already seen they had a brotherhood in locker room, right? You got to get some talent on that field. And then at the end of the day, I hope that they don't turn Ritter into like Marcus Mariota, hey, running and then throwing. No, make that man a pocket quarterback and let him use his ability to run if needed. Because again, go check my fact record. I don't know, I could be wrong, but I haven't seen to this date a quarterback that runs, that scrambles, that runs a RPO or whatever you want to call it, past or present. I know they weren't running RPOs back in the day, but still yet, I have not seen a running quarterback win a Super Bowl. Show me one. Turn that boy into a pocket quarterback, build an offensive line around him, and let him be able to use his ability to escape and buy time if needed. But teach that boy how to be a pocket quarterback, and the Falcons will win the Super Bowl. You got to basically see the whole field, not half of the field. That's just me. I don't know.
Listen, Tyrone just dropping jewel after jewel after jewel today. Y'all better listen to Tyrone. I keep saying that the Falcons need to hire you, Tyrone. They need you on their staff. I keep saying I'm putting it out there. Hire Tyrone, Falcons.
Hey, Tree, I'm not telling them what I heard. I ain't looking at no YouTube videos. I ain't sitting there trying to look at what somebody else said. I'm telling you what I saw on that field. All right.
Yeah.
Just like they ask you, Tree, what do you see in that volleyball net? You ain't gonna sit there and tell them, I was looking at this video and I heard somebody else talking about it, so I'm gonna put my spin on it. No, you gonna tell them this is what I did. You see this scar right here? I got this scar when I jumped up in that net the wrong way. So come on now. I'm just telling you what I know and what I see. All right. Pocket quarterback wins championship. I ain't seen no scrambling quarterback win one yet. That's
I need to go put on the replay of my early draft picks because I have already on the record repeatedly of saying, watch out from the kid from Cincinnati. And I thought he'd be a good pick. Why? Not two reasons. Number one, he's a winner. Everywhere he goes, the kid wins. Number two, he played against top caliber competition. He played against Ohio State. He played against Alabama. He played against Georgia. He played against Notre Dame. And did he have super games against those teams? Not necessarily, except the Notre Dame game. He played extremely well in that game. But the big key for me was he did not turn the ball over. I think in the 4 games, he had 1 turnover, and that was a fumble. No bad picks, no giving the ball back in good field position for the other team. And he is primarily a passing quarterback, Tyrone. They're not going to really have to teach him. He primarily was a passing guy to Cincinnati. So that's why I think the Falcons like him. They like the fact that he has some capability. Even Marcus Mariota, I think, and even he will admit, a lot of times he did not go through his progressions properly like he did even at Oregon. And that's why he got hurt, because the guy was running like he was Steve McNair. And unfortunately, he wasn't built to tolerate pain like Steve McNair. He got racked up and was out of the game. So, yeah, I think the Falcons, I still stand pat with my win total of 10.
Ooh, I can't go with that.
Thank you, Brian.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Especially the way the schedule pans out. The first half of the year, I can't. I mean, they could probably win 7, just like last year, and they were lucky to win 7 last year. I'm sorry, I just can't, because just the way that schedule pans out.
Nobody can, Brian. Jonathan's the only one. We all think that he's dreaming, which, I understand there's nothing wrong with dreaming, but yeah, I just don't see it happening. Not even close.
I'm going to tell you this. I know I must be beyond the pale, because
Brian Jones is one of the most mild-mannered guys you ever seen. This is one of the few times I've seen Brian actually like lean off his chair and like into like no, and no. So, well, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I just think that this is a team that is going to surprise everybody. I think that Arthur Smith is going to get what he needs to get out of his offense. I think Caleb McGarry, if he blocks like he looks, I don't know if y'all seen him in the pictures, man. If he blocks like he looks swole now. So I'm just saying.
I'm gonna say this. Now, I don't know if you guys been keeping up with news, but Drew Brees is no longer going to be commentating. And word is, he says he still want to try to suit it up, possibly. So if he goes back to the Saints, now somebody brought up a good point. Yeah, we know that he's older, and they brought up the point of Steve DeBerg. I don't know if you guys remember Steve DeBerg. Yep. Steve DeBerg was a player coach. He was a player coach. They brought him in certain situations. I heard through the grapevine that's possibly what Drew Brees is trying to think about doing. He want to be like a player type coach. So, he can kind of help Winston, with his game. So again, not only do the Falcons have to worry about the Bucks, but then if Drew Brees comes back and they just added
Jarvis Landry.
Jarvis Landry, thank you, to the roster. So the Falcons, I already see possibly 4 losses right there. That's 4 losses right there. And then they got the rest of the schedule to go. So I don't know, man. So it all depends on the Saints, what Drew Brees does. We know he left the booth. Now, if he decides to go back to the Saints and try to do a coach, player, or certain situations, I don't know. The Saints could be formidable again. They got their defense. I'm just saying.
I love it.
Look at, man, they drafted a guy from Vegas, Brian Edwards. So once again, I'm putting my Vegas shades back on. That's why I said 10 games. And listen, I'm gonna tell you something, bro. You spoke something into existence. I don't know who might come and buy a car from me. Mr. Blank might be linking me. I'll deliver the car to Flowery Branch. Matter of fact, hey, and you players out there listening, I'm your guy. Discreet. I'll make the delivery. You guys need an F-150 pickup truck. You need a Lincoln. I'm your Huckleberry.
Yeah, he said he hear that prediction, he go buy a car. Because even Mr. Blank don't think they gonna win 10 games.
Oh, is that how we gonna do it, Miss Tree? Is that how?
No, that's what Todd said.
Oh, okay.
Can you read the comment that
That went over his head.
That did go over his head. He said that. He said, Mr. Blank coming to get a car tomorrow. He hears that prediction. He's saying he only go buy a car from you if he hear that prediction. Because even he don't think they go win 10 games. That's what Todd was saying.
No. Hey, that went over the preacher's head right there.
It did. He just saw he just saw somebody getting a car from him.
No, hold up. It don't say all that.
Stop it.
It don't. No, it don't say all that. Now, hold on a second. Y'all, what you people have done is you have put your own. I'm going to put the statement back up here what he said. He said, preacher, Mr. Blank coming to get a car tomorrow. He hears that prediction. I don't see anywhere in there that, Mr. Blank doesn't believe. I don't see that. Y'all put that in there.
That's pretty much what he's saying.
Arthur Blank don't believe they're going to win 10 games.
Do you agree, Tyrone and Brian? Do y'all think that's what Todd was saying?
I think Todd making.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Todd, why don't you tell us if that's correct, Todd? You let us know because Jonathan think I'm being mean.
Well, y'all. I mean, look what y'all done brought out. Now, H.C. Hardy said the Falcons are backslide like a deacon at a package store.
Todd,
5-11.
5-12, Todd. They got one more extra day.
Yeah.
5-12.
5-12.
Or 5-11-1. They may top somebody.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wow.
look at Jonathan's face. Oh, that's funny.
That's y'all gonna treat me like this? Wow.
I mean, you're the one that made the prediction that they're gonna win 10 games.
And Brian, I'm shocked, Brian. You have been on the show for weeks, and that was the sound of the bus driving over right there. That was the sound of the back of the bus. That was it. Wow.
I don't see the Falcons doing it, man. I think, I don't know. I just don't see it. Now, if Carolina gets what's my guy in San Francisco?
You talking about Are you talking about Debo?
No, the quarterback. The quarterback.
Oh, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Jimmy G.
Yeah,
Jimmy G can swing it,
Garoppolo.
bro. Right.
I heard that the Panthers were entertaining Garoppolo. So if he does get traded to the Panthers, then I think the Falcons even lose another couple of games, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, y'all done unleashed the hounds. I mean, now Todd's saying Mr. Blank might have a heart attack once he heard that prediction. Wow. This is man, this is I don't know even to say. I don't even know what to say right now. I'm hurt. My feelings are hurt. I mean, I'm shocked at the level of vitriol I'm hearing right here. Just hitting the preacher with chops and everything.
Never, preacher.
And here's the thing, doing it with a smile. All I can see is white teeth. Just everybody having a good time. Look at all those smiles. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
Hey,
and whose expense? Mine.
I don't think you're coming back from the dead with this one here, man. That prediction there, 10 wins.
10 wins. I mean, me saying that they'll get 6 was being nice, and I don't even think they're going to get that many. But you said 10. You know, you're not living this one down, right, Jonathan?
So in other words, what you're saying is I'm very much like Coach Moore. Playoffs?
Hey.
Playoffs? That's what you're telling me. 10 wins?
Go right here. If the Falcons don't get 10 wins, the preacher, you got to do the show in a tank top for 3 weeks straight.
Wow.
I don't see that happening.
Oh, wow.
I got one better.
Hey, he got a tank top with a gold chain on. He got about 6 gold chains on in a tank top. Look at chains.
All right, let me. I can't mess. Let me go to social media one more time here. I wrap this up. I can't do it. He said, "Boy, I can't wait for the Second Chance Bowl, sponsored by Sunday's Best, Winston versus Mariota." Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let y'all enjoy yourselves. I really am. I'm gonna let everybody enjoy themselves with all of this mocking the preacher, thinking I'm crazy, and then when they get to that magical number, you're gonna say, "Man, it must have been a miracle. You must have laid hands on everybody on the team." So you don't know. Remember now, we're dealing in the supernatural. So just saying.
Listen, God can do anything. We all know.
Say it again. Go ahead.
Oh, we all know that. I mean,
amen.
We all know God can do anything.
Anything but fail. Unless somebody knows the preacher makes a wild prediction that kind of crazy. We can't guarantee anything with that. But I'm standing right here. Falcons 10 wins into the playoffs.
You ain't got no choice. You don't put it out there.
Well, yeah, I can't back off now.
That's right, Tyrone. and we gonna be right here to remind you every chance we get about this 10-game win prediction.
Hey, we're gonna say, preacher, man, you got 4 games left in the season. They ain't got 4 wins, man. You gotta take some oil up there real quick. They need a miracle.
Wow.
They got 3 games left. They ain't got 5 wins.
Right.
They got 2 games left. They still at 5.
Wow.
You're not living this one down, just so you know. Just be prepared this season.
And I got a feeling that you guys have now put a bug in Brian's ear. Brian probably might even call me, "Hey, Jonathan, I want to come on this show to review your win total for the Falcons." Come on, brother. Come on this week. Yeah, so you guys are setting me up to take a real beat. That's okay, though. I'm going to have the last laugh. I'm putting it out there.
No, you won't. Did you see Brian's face when Brian? I don't know if you saw your face, but when he said 10 wins, Brian even looked like, what?
Yeah, Brian
funny.
was. Yeah, Brian. Billy, like you say, he's a very mild-mannered guy, but there's something about that 10 win threw him off. He was like, "What?" I mean, immediately he was like, "Hey, are you crazy?"
And I'm pretty much optimistic about the Falcons. I just don't see it this year. Just based on what they have on the field. I think just based on the salary cap and everything they have going on, the dead cap money, it's just going to be a struggle. And I think they know that too. Now they could surprise and win possibly 7 or 8 games, but just the level of competition week in and week out is just going to be difficult. And I think it's going to be a little bit. It's kind of going to be a little bit like it was last year, but the difference was last year's schedule wasn't as tough as it is this year. So I think 2023, you'll see them take that next step because they'll probably have like $90 million of salary cap space, no dead cap money, which is very important. So you're going to see them make a play at top name free agents and have a pretty good draft based on where they more than likely will pick, which will probably be in the top 10. So this year will be a struggle, but I think it will be better in 2023.
And I still believe they should have just let everybody know, just like our guy D. Lid have said, they don't want to let people know they're in a rebuilding stage. They still trying to say the fact we are trying to win right now. No, you guys are in a rebuilding stage. So this year, I would have liked to see, as a Falcon fan, you know what? Trade out of that first round. Trade out of, if you can't, trade out of the first round. Collect draft picks in the latter rounds, or even possibly something next year. You know what? We're not going to win this year. Let's stack up. Pull the Jimmy Johnson, Herschel Walker stuff, man. Let's get as many draft picks as we can, and let's build for the future, and let's build a whipstick, all right? But it's like they try to sell people that they going to win this year. You know you're not going to win. I don't know. That's just me. That's just me.
Got the guns blazing, huh?
Well, they're trying to do something. They look okay on camera because they're covered with the shirts and like shadows, something like that. Which is a real situation. Well, the only other interesting thing I think about the Falcons is that I'm not sure. I understand you want to take great athletes, but they got a lot of guys, man, that are like they play like multiple positions. You got guys that are playing defense, that play quarterback, and I'm just interested to see why they seem to be really enamored with picking guys that are, multi-position guys. I'm not sure they're going to do it that. But anyway, all that being said, I'm going to stand by the 10 wins. I know I'm going to be a mocking, I'm going to be a source of just, I'm sure people are going to be taking clips of this and reposting all over the place, but I don't care. Go Falcons.
And here's something else. Gimmicks. I've never seen a gimmicky team win a championship either. You got to have some type of identity. Yeah. Where's your identity? Our identity is we're going to pound the ball. We're going to pound it. Or we're going to throw it. We're going to do something. I've never seen a gimmick team win a championship. So all this guy, he's a quarterback and a wide receiver. Come on, man. You can't be a jack of all trades. Masters win championships. All right? Can't be a jack of all trades. Because now you get in a situation, you don't know who to put in there. I don't know. That's just me. I'm just talking. I don't know.
Wait, hold on now, Tyrone. Hang on. Before you throw total shade on this, okay. Remember, didn't you play with a fella that wore number 80 for your Patriots? Didn't he play offense and defense from time to time?
You know why?
Why is that?
Everybody was injured. He didn't come straight out and play offense and defense. He played because we were so beat up in the secondary. We didn't have nobody else to put in there. So that's why he played. It wasn't because they said, okay, hey, this is what you're going to do. You're going to play wide receiver and defensive back. No, it came down to the point like an emergency. Have you ever seen a team where all of the quarterbacks are beat up and they got some guy who was a wide receiver who played quarterback? Now they say you're the emergency quarterback. That's all Troy was. We were beat up. We didn't have no defensive backs. So they couldn't go and pull nobody else on the team because now you got to shift the 53-man roster when you got your guy who's injured for this game. He's coming back in 2 weeks. So why shift the lineup like that? Just move somebody over who now can hold everything in place until we get everybody back. That's why Troy did that. It wasn't that they say, this is what you're going to do. We're going to use you like that. No.
But y'all used them, though. I mean, or maybe they're thinking that they got a bunch of Debo Samuels, guys that can play, or Cordell Patterson, guys that can play 3-4 positions. I don't know. It's just very interesting. What's really very interesting, we ran a little bit over the time, but that's okay because it took us a little while to get started. But you know how it is, guys. When we wrap up, we always make sure that we want people to know how they can find out more about our guests. So you know how we're going to do it. We go around the horn, and first we're going to go to Mr. Brian Jones. The floor is yours.
As always, I appreciate you guys. I'm the sports and entertainment writer for popculture.com. You can find all my work at popculture.com and popculture.com/sports. Got some cool interviews coming up. And as I mentioned, I interviewed Candace Parker, WNBA star. You can check that out at popculture.com, popculture.com/sports. And you can follow me on Twitter. That's at Brian Jones _93. I had a podcast, Always Football Season. I put that on hold a little bit. I may bring her back, but you can find the previous episodes of Always Football Season wherever you get your podcasts. You can also follow me on Instagram. That's Brian_L_Jones.
There it is, guys. This is the guy that covers all the bases, both literally and figuratively. Mr. Brian Jones, Thank you, sir, for joining us, and we'll see you again real soon.
Thank you guys. Always appreciate it.
All right, Brian.
Bye, Brian.
Bye.
Peace. All right, Mr. Tyrone Poole, the floor is yours.
Appreciate it, Jonathan. Yes. Tyrone Poole, 38, all social media. All right. So if you got any good athletes out there, you know what? Get in touch with me. Tyrone.poole at fvsu.edu. All right.
Woo!
I'm on the Fort Valley. That's my email address. Fort
Okay,
Valley.
with the professional email.
We're gonna fix that next week. We're gonna get the official stuff of Fort Valley State so you guys can follow. And like I said, man, hopefully work with Tyrone to help build that program up to new heights, which I think is gonna do, because they got the man, Mr. Tyrone Poole, running the show. All right, Tyrone.
Right. Thank
Next
you,
time.
Thank you, Tree. Thank you, Pastor.
Bye, Tyrone.
All right, Mr. Tree Dolman, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. First, I have to say that it is May. May is Brain Cancer Awareness Month. Please sign up for my virtual 5K walk. We are walking or running to raise money for life-saving brain cancer research. It's benefiting Go Great for a Cure, Incorporated nonprofit organization, as well as the National Brain Tumor Society. You can sign up for the walk or the run at runsignup.com/Go Great for a Cure 5K. You can find me on all social media at It's Latresa, as well as Ms. America International 2021.
There it is. Thank you and thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. It's me. I'm the minister, Jonathan Simmons. Of course, I am a real life minister. So, before I end every broadcast, I always ask you guys the same thing. Do you know the Lord? If you don't, I'm going to tell you, please, man, please, sir, get to know him today. And how do you do that? By getting a relationship with his son, Jesus Christ. Really easy to do it. Number one, repent of your sins. Number two, believe that Jesus came here, both fully man and fully God, and then did something unbelievable. He died for your sins, but he rose from the dead. And when he did, if you believe this and you repent, two wonderful things happen. Number one, you become a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. And number two, you become an adoptive child of God with all the rights therein. That means that you now can go to the maker and creator of the entire universe. He's like your dad now. That's right. You can call God Father. And cool thing is you can ask him for anything you need or desire, and according to his will, he'll give it to you. And then the piece de resistance. When you die, you go to a happy place called heaven, where it is beautiful. All the buildings are adorned with the most spectacular jewels we've ever seen. As a matter of fact, the streets are paved with a gold that's so pure, it's translucent. And guess what? There's none of in heaven. No pandemic, no pain, no bad people, no prejudice. You never die. It's sunny all the time. And the beautiful thing is you get a chance to see God, see Jesus, and all those people that you love face to face. And you avoid that terrible place called hell, where all the things that are in heaven are not in hell. So it stinks, it's dark, it's dreary. And most of all, you're cut off from heaven, all the people there, God and Jesus Christ forever and a day. I don't know about you, but like option number one instead of option number two. All right, guys, until the next time. Oh, okay, you say, how can I follow you? No worries. I got that right here. Here you go. First of all, there you are right there is information to reach me if you have a great, compelling sports story, or if you want to partner with us, Jay Simmons at realtalksports.net, or simply call me in the cell 678-410-9833. Please follow us on social media. If you could, please. Social media is right here at Real Talk Sports, the number 7, or you can follow me personally at Minister J Sim. All right, guys, listen, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening or day, because those of you might be watching on replay. Till next time, God bless you, and have a wonderful rest of your day or evening. So long.